Good morning. Happy Thursday. Our local news channel calls Thursday Friday Junior. I never heard of it before, but that's what they call it. Friday. Happy Friday Junior. Hi, Vesta. How are you? Hi, Karen. How is everyone? The sun is starting to peek out. It was a little gloomy this morning. Hi, Linda. Hi, Sandy. So glad that you could join me here. Oh, it's cold in North Dakota. Besta, really? You got snow? Hi, Sharon. I thought we were supposed to be done with that. Hi, Jasmine. My bangs are getting in my way, so I keep fussing with my glasses. Hi, Debbie. Good morning, everyone. So today we've got, sometimes you need just a simple card or a simple, I don't even know if you would call it a technique, but sometimes you just need simple. And that's what I needed this week. So today's mystery quilt card, we're going to be working with strips. Strip piecing is a pattern that quilters like to do when they want to use up their scraps and throw something together really quick. So we're going to be working with strips. Hi, Beth. How are things in Indy, Debbie? Oh, I keep getting these pop-ups. Tracking more rain on the way. Yikes. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to business here. Kind of lost my train of thought, but so we've got some strips that we're going to be using today. A few things before we get started. I want to announce that starting Monday, April 22nd, you will be able to register for the spring card play online retreat. So that's Karen, Holly, Julie, and I'm forgetting the other person's name. I had them. There's going to be 2 Julies. I think Linda, maybe? I'll have to get you more details. But anyway, there's going to be 5 of us that are going to be participating in card play. And you can actually start officially registering Monday. I've already gotten a few registrations in. You don't, if you are one of those people, you don't have to send me another one. And you can sign up with any one of us. But I will be linking my Google form so that you can register with me. Again, there's going to be the 2 options. You can get the retreat with the make and take, or you can get just everything online. You just don't get the packet to make the 8 make and take cards that we're going to show you, featuring one bundle or one suite. And I can't tell you what the suite is yet. Karen always likes to keep you guessing and play a game first. And then we'll each be featuring 2 other bundles in the new catalog. So it's like 12 Facebook Lives, 24 PDFs, prizes, and just a lot of fun. And the dates for it are May 31st and June 1st. So be looking for more information for that. The other thing I want to tell you about is June 8th. I think it's June 8th. Tony, if you're on here, Tony Shaw, her and Jean Hoffman have invited myself and Mary Nabe to come to Waverly, New York, and it's the New York, Pennsylvania line. They're holding a card making day, and there's lunch provided. There's the 4 of us that are going to be demonstrating projects for you to do. And Tony wanted me to announce it here because there's a lot of people who may be in that area. I will get a link for you so that you can register with Tony if you would like. I will also be posting the flyer. Now, there is limited seating. So, but Tony's going to take care of all of that. So it's Tony Shaw, Jean Hoffman, Mary Nabe, and myself. We're going to be doing a full day of card making and 3D projects. And we're really excited because we get to take the road trip and go see Jean and Tony. So we're really, really happy that they invited us to participate. So there's going to be further information coming on that because you're going to want to register soon if you're in that area to save yourself a seat. So I think that's all I want to really talk about right now. So I'm going to flip the camera around so we can get started. Please say good morning to each other as I flip the camera around and reposition a few things on my craft table, and we'll get started. See if I can do this without tipping over my stand because it wants to be a little wobbly. Okay, got that. Okay, just got to move some things around here. And I want to make sure that I can see my computer really easily so that I can keep up with comments. Oh. Beth, I will have to look at the schedule for when Karen's got things set up for like sneak peeks and things like that. Karen and Holly take care of the schedule for when information is released in Card Play. So I'll have to double check that schedule. I know they like, it's fun to play some games, some guessing games and things like that. I also know how you'd like to be able to plan. So I'll just have to check on that. I'm going to be using the Latte Love stamp set and the designer series paper. I think this might be the last week that I use these products. And I think I'll find a different designer series paper and maybe a different bundle for the next 2 or 3 weeks in different colors. But I'll tell you, I really love the colorway in this designer series paper. Quickly became one of my favorites. And to be honest with you, I didn't know if I would really get as much use out of this bundle in the designer series paper as I have. I really am pleasantly surprised that I'm enjoying it so much. So I have to kind of take a look at what I want to start working with next week. Hi, Lori and Peg. Oh, good. Tony's on. Tony, take over in the comments if you see any questions. I actually was outside before jumping on. I had lost track of time. I bought a metal arbor to go in our flower bed, and we were unloading it out of the car. It's got to be put together yet, but I think it's going to be bigger than I thought. I think it'll look okay, but we were outside looking at where I'm going to put it, and I lost track of time. It was like, oh my gosh, I got a Facebook Live. So kind of rushed there for details. Good morning, Alice. Okay, so let's see. What did I use out of Latte Love? I used the Sentiment you're the best part of my day. And then for my card insert, I pre-stamped thanks so much. And this little splatter has become my favorite part of this whole stamp set. I love this little splatter. I left a margin along the outside, kept my sentiment in and this in because we're going to frame our card insert. So there's that. And then I fussy cut because I don't have my dies yet. I ordered the dies. I still don't know why I didn't order them in the first place when I ordered the stamp set. Well, I kind of know why. Is because I didn't know if I was going to really need the dies. And then I found out I did. So I've ordered them. They'll be here Sunday. But that's a little late for today. So I had to fussy cut some of the coffee mugs that are on one of the sheets of the designer series paper. And I really could use some practice in fussy cutting. Can't wait to get the dies. I know the dies don't cut out all the coffee mugs, but yeah, I need a lot of practice in fussy cutting. So those are some parts that we're using. Now, the Cardbase 8.5 by 5.5. This is half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. Okay, let's get this out of the way. So we're actually going to be doing our strip piecing on the front of the card. It's going to take up the whole card front, so we don't need a layer for anything. And what's nice about this is when we're done, you can keep it in portrait, or you'll be able to look at it in landscape. Well, as long as you haven't done your stamping on your insert. Mine's going to have to be portrait because I've already stamped the inside card insert in portrait. But I just want you to know that once we're done with the strip piecing, you'll be able to decide if you want it in portrait or landscape. Okay, so I had you get a whole bunch of 1/2 inch by 6 inch strips of designer series paper. I am using the coordinating designer series paper with the Latte Love products, and I cut 1/2 inch strip by 6 inches for each of the designer series sides of the designer series paper. What I want to do is I want to take, let me look at my card here. How many did I? It depends on if you want to leave some spacing or not in how many that you're going to need. But what I did was I took my prints or my solid colors and I separated the ones that have some white on the back, because I'm using the white as where I want the accent designer series paper to come through. So what I did was I just separated my lights from my prints. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 and 6. So I am going to just put the lighter strips to the side for now. And what I'm going to do is I've got my trimmer because we're going to cut these 6 in half at 3 inches. So I just want to, it doesn't have to be exact, but so 3 inches. And then we'll do these 3. Okay. And now what? Yeah, I believe it was 3 inches. For some reason, it looks a little longer. Nope, 3 inches. Okay. So now I'm going to move the paper trimmer out of the way. I'm going to bring in my card base. And what I want to do is I'm going to start gluing these down, and I'm going to work side to side. So if I glue this one right up to the top and in the corner starting on the left side, then my next strip I'm going to come in from the right side. Now you can put them all, you can put your strips to where they butt up right to each other, or you can space it out just a little bit. Okay, it's up to you. You can, if you're going to put them up against each other, you will probably just need an extra strip. But you decide how it is that you want to lay it out. So what I like to do first is kind of just play with the strips and just see where I want them to fall. Now, when you get down to the bottom, you may have a little room left over. If you're filling it all in, just fill it in and then trim off whatever is outside of. Okay. There should be another. Okay, so that's the opposite of that. That's the opposite of that. That's the opposite of that. Did I already use them? I'm missing one of the patterns. But you know, I had mentioned cut a lot of strips so that you have options. So I'm going to look over here in my pile, and I'm looking for, here it is. This is the one I'm looking for. The one that has a lot of the coffee mugs on it. So I'm going to trim this really quick. Oh, I know why it's not in there, because it's part of the white ones that I set aside. But that's okay, because I'm just gonna cut this at 3 inches and bring this in. And now I will start repeating my colors, but I don't know if I want this one to be on the same side. So might just start with the plaid, and then that way I don't have the exact same pattern going down the exact same side. I'm going to switch it up a little bit. We're just going to move those 2 around, and then I'm going to leave a little spacing in mine. So I think that's how I will start. So I'm working with the Tombow glue, and now I'm just going to stack these up, kind of get them out of my way. Okay, so this one here, I'm actually going to put it up to the top. But then everyone that's underneath that, I'm going to put just a little bit of spacing. So I've got it all the way to the edge on my fold and all the way to the top. And then this one, I'm going to leave just a little bit of spacing. And I'm going to go all the way down. And then we'll go back and fill in the empty spaces with some white. See how I just left a little bit of spacing in between? You don't have to. You can fill the whole card up. Just butt all of your colors up to each other. For me, I find that holding my card up in front of me like this helps me to keep my lines straight. Now, if I was just going across the top and I was butting everything up to each other, I could probably pretty much guarantee myself that I would be straight all the way down. But because I am leaving a little gap in between, I think it's easy to think that you're straight, and then things start kind of going downhill or uphill. I got to thinking before we went live about doing this on a diagonal, but if you're going to do your strips on the diagonal, then you're going to need longer pieces, and I just wasn't prepared for that. So we're just going to keep it this way, going this way. Hi, Patty. Hi, Linda. This is a good way to use up those scraps that you end up having when you are trimming just an edge off your designer series paper. You could do this with scraps of cardstock also. In fact, it would be really pretty if you embossed those, just the cardstock, embossed it for texture, and used up your strips of cardstock instead of designer series paper. Now, if you're going to do any quilting, I'm not actually going to do any quilting on my cards, on these cards today. I will put my whole card in between a piece of scrap paper and run it through my machine just to flatten out all these ridges that you get from your blade when you're cutting. But I'm not going to actually do any quilting. If you're going to do that, if you want to quilt your card, then you're probably going to want to open your card, place just this side that you want quilted in the embossing folder, but just know that you're going to get embossing on the inside, embossing or debossing. You're going to get the opposite side on the inside of your card base, which the texture alone could be really cool. So just know that. Or if somebody here watching knows of another way to do it, please share that with us. That's the only way I know right off the top of my head, is to open up your card base and only, oh boy, Julie. Just got glue all over. Thank goodness for erasers. If I can grab mine really quick. I'm going to let that dry just a little bit, and then I'm going to go in and clean that up. Might have to do it before I put that other piece down. Oh yeah, it's coming right off. Thank goodness for adhesive erasers. And then put this one on. Now, I like the look of my strips, even without filling in the gaps. But I also like the white to help make things pop a little bit. See how I have a ridge here? That's okay, because I am going to just put down a little line of glue right there. And then I'm going to trim off whatever is... I'll trim all of this off here. Separate that just a little bit more. Okay, but I'm going to give it time to dry. So now this is what I've got so far. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at those whites that I had. Okay. And I'm going to pick 2 of them, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in and I'm going to fill in. Oh, that's too busy. I don't want busy. I'm going to use those 2, and I'm going to use the coffee cups because they're pretty subtle also, and I think I have some scraps of those. I do. So what I'm going to do is this is going to butt up to the other one. Put that there. I'm going to trim off the excess so that I can come down here and put that one there. You'll probably notice in your cutting, at least I do mine, that in some pieces I was a little bit heavy on the 1/2 inch and some a little thinner on the others, but it's all good. Here, I'm gonna switch and use my other. Well, come on. White that I chose. And I've got another strip, so I'll just put this one, work this one here. And now I'll turn them over so that I can keep using this one here. I got a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to go back to my coffee cups. So I think this white just helps break up all the colors. Maybe not, but I liked it. You could use any, whatever your eye wants to use. I was just looking at the paper I had and how did I want to bring it in and just use up my strips. I didn't want to really have to cut. Whoops. I didn't want to have to cut a whole bunch of new pieces of paper, because it's all about using what you've been accumulating when you're, cutting designer series paper for different projects that you're doing. And then I'm going to go back to my coffee mugs. And this one's just going to go on the bottom here. I mean, it's like almost going to be non-existent, but I didn't want to. The space was just a little bit more down there than what I wanted. So just going to fill that in. I like it. I like it. I like it. Where are my scissors? I think you're going to find how we frame the card insert also. It's cute. And now we'll just open this up, and I'm just putting the edge of my snips right along my card base, and so I'm using that as like a guide. So as long as my snips are right up against the card base, I can cut somewhat of a straight line. And so when you trim it off, you've got something like this. Okay, so there is the front of my card. What I am going to do right now, remember I wanted to soften this ridge that results when we're cutting our paper. So what I'm going to do is I've got a scrap piece of paper. I'm just going to put my card right inside there, and I'm going to run it through my cut and emboss machine with in between the die cutting plates, just to help flatten out those ridges. So I'm doing that off camera. And what I get is a really nice smooth. This laid down all those ridges, and it is so smooth. Something that I like to do, I didn't do it this time, but if my plates aren't dirty, which means I don't have any ink on them that would transfer onto the piece that I want to give some texture to, I will put the piece that I want to lay down on my plates without any paper, because all the cuts that are in the clear plates will leave just a slight texture. It'll look kind of grungy and dirty, but when I say dirty, I don't mean like dirty. It just is, there's no pattern. It's just the cutting, you know, the grooves that are in my plate. But when I touch it, I can feel texture. So that's just something else that I like to do every now and then. But I kept this smooth. It didn't do anything to my card base. Oh, I got little, oh, look at this. This is cool. Look at these little lines. Can you see them? I never noticed that. I like it. Very interesting. Okay. Let's bring in our card insert. Now I'm going to need some more scraps because I'm going to need some long pieces for the sides. And so I'm just going to bring in, I'm going to frame it. I'm going to choose my plaid here, but I'm going to cut it down to 3.5 inches because we're going to block, do a scrappy block and frame our card insert. So I'm going to cut this to 3.5 because I know that insert is 4 by 5 1/4. And these are 1/2-inch pieces. And if I'm going to bring a strip down here, I need to leave a 1/2 inch to make room for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to look at my scraps. I need another long one. I think I'll put this one right here. And I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. And then, what do I got here left over? I might end up having to cut. Oh, wait, here, I got all of these long strips too up here. What do we got here? Well, I already used that one. Oh, we could use this one. Then I'll put this one all the way to the end here. And now I need a long one that's gonna go all the way up that side. What do I got here? I could use that, but I don't know if I like. Oh, this one will work. I love Lost Lagoon. That will work. So I'm just framing the card insert to give it that scrappy look. And actually, I don't know why, but working counterclockwise worked for me doing this. I tried doing it clockwise and I got turned around backwards. I don't know why. But I'm going to start in the upper left-hand corner and I'm going to work my way counterclockwise around the insert. You know what? I'm going to switch that around. I'm going to use this one. I changed my mind on what side I want to use. Let's get that to the outside edge. I think I'll stick with the pink here. Put that there, and then, so we're just kind of like color blocking, I think, our insert just to give it some more interest. Using up more scraps. And where are my snips? Oops, I put them where they're supposed to be. No wonder I couldn't find them. And so now we're just trimming off the excess. And that is our card insert. So we can go ahead and, oh, I know what I'm going to do. So the other day, Karen Titus is my upline, in case you didn't know. She does a monthly All Good Cards Club. It's $15 a month. But you have she does 3 sessions on a certain day, and you'll get all the PDFs for it. But she features monthly different techniques, different layouts and such. Well, we did the square, 1-inch square cards and layouts. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. And she had mentioned something about sponging. Now, I had totally forgot about sponging. I used to sponge a lot in my scrapbooking days. But I decided to sponge all my 1-inch squares. And I had a lot of them. And I enjoyed it so much. And then, so I brought a little bit of sponging into today's card. You don't have to do this. But I love the look. Now you can sponge real heavy. I'm choosing just to stay along the outside edge. I'm not coming real far down onto my designer series paper. I just want to give it a little more color on the outside edges. The ink also helps cover up any white from if you didn't go all the way to the edge of your paper, and so you got a little bit of white showing. So I'm just going to do a little bit of sponging. You know, I think the sponging, whoops, it's upside down. You know what? That bottle was empty anyway. Let's move that out of the way. Can anybody relate to what just happened? Oh, my Lord. Okay. It wasn't on my insert, so... And I was forcing myself to just keep using that bottle, so it was good to go. I think the sponging also lends really nice to the scrappy look of the card. So we've got our insert. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sponge, if I can find my dauber. What did I do with the dauber? Did I... Well, it went flying when... It's okay, I got another one. It went flying when the bottle of glue dropped. That's okay. We'll just get another one. And then I'm going to go around the whole outside of my card base. I really just think that this complements the scrappy look. And again, it will cover up any edges that maybe if you didn't get your paper all the way to the edge and you see a color that you don't want to, well, your sponging is going to help cover that up. Can't remember if I did that side. I did. Okay. Carefully, I am going to get close that and put it far away so that I can't drop anything. So all I did was just kind of dirty up the edges by sponging. The early espresso helps really set the strip piecing down. I had already sponged my label that I had stamped the sentiment on. And now it's just a matter of putting our focal point together. I think I'm going to put the Lost Lagoon there. And I can either put that, I haven't done it on the outside. I've been tucking. I think I'll just put it on the outside. But you just want to create your focal point. Okay? And so I'm going to, and this one here I'm going to pop, or should I pop this one up? I think I'll pop this one up. So if I know I want this to set just right here, I'm going to put just a little bit of glue. Put that coffee mug right there. While that's drying a little bit, I'll go ahead and put my dimensionals on this mug. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue this whole piece down to my card. Still move that a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to pop up one of the coffee mugs. Right like that. And then all that I'm going to do is add some, these are the in-color dots. These are retiring. I don't know if they're still in stock, but the copper clay ones kind of look like coffee to me. And so I am going to use those and just put 3 of them down. I'm not sure where I want them. I think I'm going to use all 3 sizes. Maybe go like here, there, and maybe put one, maybe right on the coffee mug. Okay, so the only other thing that I would think to do is maybe I'll put some designer series paper on the back, and then make sure that I have my button to sign my work. And there's our cute little scrappy quilt card. So let me show you the other ones that I did. This one here, this is really scrappy because what I did, this was my first one. I laid out the 3-inch strips just randomly, not like right to left, but down the center, just really like a wild zigzag. And then I went in and I filled in all the pieces with whatever scraps I had. So this is truly very scrappy right here. And I fussy cut those mugs. And then this one here, it was easier for me to piece it in portrait. I could keep myself straight easier in portrait, but then I decided I wanted it to be in landscape to finish it. And you'll notice there's no spacing in between my strips, so it's got a lot more coverage. I did do the right to left on my 3-inch pieces and filled it in with the white. So, and then there's the scrappy inside, and I forgot to sponge that. Oh, looks like I sponged the outside, but I forgot the inside. So there's that one. This is the one that we did today, and then here's one where I did the spacing. And I cut out a different coffee mug to go with this one. And again, used the copper clay dots because it reminded me of coffee. And then on one of these, oh, here I used the rainbow dots and brought in the Lost Lagoon for more color of Lost Lagoon. So again, they all have the scrappy insert, and I just needed to play with some strips and do something scrappy. It calmed, it just helped me calm down and calm my thoughts. I've got a lot to work on. I'm working on my cards for card play. I have a PDF that will go out tonight for the April barn quilts. You should be getting them in the mail anytime. So I like to coincide the PDF with when you're getting the kits in the mail. So that will email tonight. So just a lot going on. So I really needed just some simple card making, but using up a lot of scraps that I had, and this is what I came up with. So I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm going to give 3 of these away. So if you want to put in the comments best part, then over the weekend, I'll draw some names and I will get some cards out to you. So Tony says the dies make the bundle, that she uses the dies more than she uses the stamp set. See, I was like thinking just the opposite, but this was a lesson. Always get the dies, because if you don't, you're going to find that you need them. And so you might as well get them and not split up the set in the beginning. So, hi Lori and Debbie, Mary Ellen, Susan, Peg. Thank you guys for all being here. Just a simple strip piecing today. Nothing fancy like last week and some prior, but those special quilt blocks will be coming. Coming back soon. Just needed something very simple and easy to throw together. So please share your stripped quilt cards over in the group Quilt Cards and More. We would love to be inspired by your creations, and we hope that when we share that you're inspired. So I look forward to that. Again, Tony, I will share the flyer. I'll make a post on the Chirpy page and have the flyer that Tony created for her event in June, in case anybody is in that area and would like to attend. Maybe you want a road trip. That's good too. Just keep in mind that it is limited seating. So if it's something that you want to do, you're going to want to register with Tony as soon as possible. Again, it's Tony, Jean, Mary Nabe, and myself. Tony refers to us as the Fab Four, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And then keep an eye out for card play. Registration officially starts on Monday, and the Google form that I have created will have all the details. So it'll have all the details except the surprises, like what is the featured suite that we're going to be using for the make and takes, but it'll give you cost and things like that, and what comes in the make and takes. Okay, everybody, have a really blessed Thursday. And I will look forward to seeing what your stripped pieced quilt cards look like over in the group. So have a good day.